You on December 7th.
Okay, we're recording. Today is February 11th, and the year is 2007. The question posed to the illustrious Judge William J. Lederer is as follows. Raymond, what's the question?
Where were you on December 7th, 1941, when you first heard about what had occurred, and what was your reaction overall?
And Judge, you're going to repeat that question, aren't you? Because that's how you
Yes.
taught me in public speaking.
Thank you. In Philadelphia, Pearl Harbor happened to be broadcast on a Sunday, and I was working along the Delaware River at the Sears and Roebuck's warehouse. I was a teenager, and a black cleaning man came up and said, "Go listen to the radio, they bombed Pearl Harbor." So we went to the radio, and then the vice president of Sears for the warehouse came out and gave us all a lecture and pulled a map out and traced Pearl Harbor and said, "Go home and pray."
It's important that we know this, Pep.
And it was a sad day for America.
And what else do you remember other than the fact that it was very sad and many people died?
Well, I remember we were going to get even with the Japs as soon as possible. And the Japs will never forget what Pearl Harbor meant to America.
Did you have any personal friends that went to heaven, Pepe?
Oh, I had some of the boys from Philadelphia were in Pearl Harbor. And many of them died and were injured.
And the president during that time was?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
And what was the public perception of how President Roosevelt handled that horrible day?
He went on the radio and said, "This is a great day of infamy. The Japanese Empire has bombed America, and we will fight back to the end."
Okay, now on another note, you had the great distinction to meet President Kennedy back when he was a really young man, and I wanted to just ask you your opinion on that, your recollections on that wonderful day.
Well, that was in 1948 in Chicago at the AMVET National Veterans Convention, and Kennedy was on a housing committee with Senator Joseph McCarthy, and I was a junior member of the committee as a delegate from Pennsylvania. And I met Kennedy, who was a young congressman who was recovering from a major operation and was wearing thick steel braces across his shoulders that went down to his hips. And then I met him day to day at the committee hearings and became friendly with him, and we had long discussions about Harry Truman's election, where he predicted that if Truman could carry California, he would win the presidency, and he took a deck of 3x5 cards and went over them with me and a few of the other members of the committee, and then he asked me about Pennsylvania, and I told him we would go for Truman. And he said that's very important, and then we discussed why I thought that from canvassing the voters, and I said Kennedy would win the people without the phones, and they were not in the Gallup poll, and that proved to be a truth, and Truman made a big upset and won the re-election for president and beat Governor Dewey of New York. And then I saw Kennedy a few times after that as he went from Congress to the U.S. Senate and eventually to be President of the United States. And I have fine memories of John F. Kennedy, as do many Americans.
That's a fascinating story. And then also there was a story, I don't know how much more time we have left here, Pepe, but the helicopter story.
Oh, during the campaign of 1960, Congressman Green asked me to fly in a helicopter over President Kennedy's campaign public rallies, and I flew the helicopter for 10 days covering Kennedy and landing wherever he was, and then telling him what to expect at the next rally from what we observed. And what we observed was a fantastic crowd appeal that Kennedy had wherever we announced from the helicopter that he was coming to speak. Probably never before and after will there be a reception like Kennedy received in the Philadelphia campaign which won him the presidency. Thanks to Congressman Green's leadership.
And as they say on the interviewers on television, and so it goes. Thanks, Judge Bill. Really some great recollections. We're going to continue next time when I have a little more tape. How about signing off? Juliet, would you like to wave?
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you
Bye,
soon.
everybody. Juliet's
Bye-bye.
got good memories of President Kennedy, JFK, 3 cheers for JFK.
She's got a
All the
lot of
way
memories of a
with
lot of
JFK.
special people. Signing
All
off.
the way with